final hearing and request for a protection order. Do I have Bonnie Thomas connected with the courts?
Yes,
Thank you very much. And do I have, let's see if I can pronounce your name right. Is it Cameron Castrojohn? You're muted. You're muted. You need to unmute.
It's Castrahone. There's no E.
Castrojohn?
Yeah.
There's no E at the end of it?
Right.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. This is a final order. This is a final hearing on a request for a protection order. Ms. Thomas, are you still requesting an order?
yes,
Okay, and Ms. Castrillon, are you opposing the order?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have any witnesses?
I have my daughter Savannah, who was with me that night. My other children are minors. They were with me as well. She was the one that spoke to my sister, not me. So that's why she's here today.
Okay. My question is, do you intend to call her as a witness?
Yes.
Very good. Give me her full name.
Savannah, Savannah,
Okay.
and then Hernandez, Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Easy. Yes.
Very good. Okay, very good. Okay, under RCW 7-105-225, the petitioner bears the burden of proof by a preponderance of the evidence, which is a level of evidence more likely than not, of proving the right to a protection order. In essence, what the petitioner has to prove is that we have a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental and serves no legal or lawful purpose. And it's such that would cause a reasonable person emotional distress or harm. So that is the standard by which I am applying today. And so Ms. Thomas has the burden of proof, and therefore you have the right to speak first and last. So I'm going to put you under oath. Raise your right hand, please. Ms. Thomas, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear under penalty of perjury under the laws of Washington State that the testimony you're about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
yes,
Okay, now I have received the petition that you have filed to get your temporary order. That petition is admitted into evidence. And so I have had a chance to review that. But go ahead with your testimony. Give me your full name first.
Bonnie Thomas,
Middle name.
Ray,
Is that R-A-E?
correct,
And Thomas, T-H-O-M-A-S?
yes.
Okay, go ahead with your testimony.
On 10/29/22, I was working at Walmart, and it was about 8 o'clock,
Okay.
and Cameron had came through line 8. I was on line 9, and I could tell that they were talking some stuff. I couldn't hear anything. And then when they went to leave, she turned around and said, "I hope that you can sleep good at night." And I didn't say anything. Then she proceeded to go down the line to head out the door. And she stopped the door person and then proceeded to say, "How can you allow someone like her to work here when her husband had molested my daughters?" And then she left. At that time, the door person had came to me and said that, "I think that you need to go take a break," and then came and told me what she had said.
Did you hear what she said to that person?
No, I did not.
Okay, so that was that was from what that person told you.
Yes, and she did write a statement.
Yes, I did get that, and it is admitted into evidence.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Any other testimony?
No, this is an ongoing case and, I just don't want the harassment.
And which Walmart was it?
It's the 7th Street.
7th Avenue Walmart?
Yeah.
And what's your relationship with the respondent in this case?
She is my
Sister. Okay, very good. Ms. Now I can't even remember. Castor-Hone?
Yes.
Ms. Castor-Hone, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear under penalty of perjury and all laws of Washington State, the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and state your full name for the record
My name is Cameron Marie Castrahone.
and spell your last name, please.
Castrrejon.
Okay, very good. Go ahead with your testimony.
Okay, well, first and foremost, when I received the paperwork, it had some conflicting things in it, and nothing that she is saying is the way things transpired in the store. There was a claim that we came into the store yelling at her. We were actually in the checkout, completely surprised she was working there. In the last 13 years since our mom passed away, I've never known her to have a job. So I was completely thrown off guard of her working there. As we were there and when we saw her and made eye contact, all I said is, "Oh my God." And my daughter Savannah looked up, made eye contact with her. And then the cashier asked us what was wrong. And I said, "Nothing, I just need to get my stuff and get out of this store as fast as possible." And at that moment, my sister walked around her cash register, not sure what she was doing, I think texting or calling her son. And she, like not even a minute later, her son comes running up across the store. Apparently he's working there too, and he's carrying a large bottle of alcohol. And I had my 2 minor children that are the ones that her husband's up on charges against, and my daughter Savannah with me. And I was worried he was going to try to hit one of my children. So the lady finished cashing us out. My daughter Savannah, who I have here with me, was the one that looked over at my sister and said, "I hope you can sleep at night," because she's just been so hurt by all of this. And then we turned to walk out the door. And as we're going to the door, we were actually approached and asked for our receipt from this person that made the statement. And we were told that they needed to check all of our things. And she was holding us there for quite a while. And at that point, I was so stressed out and so nervous because I had no idea they even worked there. And I just wanted out of the store that I said, if you were really concerned about this store's safety, you'd be more concerned about the people that you have working here, because the lady working over there is not a good person. That is my sister, and she's allowing bad things to happen to my children. And she just rolled her eyes at me and said, "Here," and put like a yellow Sharpie on my receipt and let us go. And then we never had any other contact again with my sister since that, except on November 13th, my daughter Savannah's car tire blew out, and that was a Sunday. And that Walmart on 7th Avenue is the only place where you can get tires. So we went in, bought tires, and instead of staying in the store, my husband and I walked to Home Depot. And on the way back, we saw her son in the parking lot. And it was weird because he honked and waved at us. And I wanted to call Walmart and see if they have camera footage of both events, but I was afraid because of the protection order, I couldn't make a call to Walmart. And so then on December 2nd, I'd come home from the doctor's office to police on my porch saying that she was asking for this order. And I just think it's ridiculous, because since this happened in January, when my daughter came out to her teacher about being molested, this whole case has been going on. I contacted my sister in March to let her know that the police were going to be arresting her husband as a courtesy to let her know ahead of time. I contacted her in May to tell her, I've given you all this time to try to come to grips with what your husband did to my children. I love you, but what you're doing is so wrong. And then I disconnected her phone that I've been paying for the last 13 years. On August 11th, he was arraigned on charges. July 22nd, I took a new job. I left my job at the college I'd been at for 13 years and pulled my daughter out of her private Christian school that she went to here, and took a job an hour north to be as far away from this family as humanly possible. On November 16th, I pulled half of my retirement money out because we're working on the house so that we can move, because my job is very far away and I'm traveling. I just want to be away from them. I don't want contact with my sister, but I do have children that have copper allergies and gluten allergies. And so we do often, at least once a month, go to that Walmart because they have better selection for gluten-free and copper-free foods. And so, like I said, I've tried to change my life as much as I can. I try to go to Olympia and shop at Trader Joe's. It was just a complete blindside to us that she was there. And I should not have said anything, but I was being harassed by the coworker at the door that turned out to be my sister's friend. And I felt like her son was going to harm my children in the store. And so we had asked for a restraining order against her whole family when this all happened. And the prosecuting attorney's office only gave us one for the husband. But she did tell me, the prosecuting attorney, on December 6th, when I called her for legal advice.
Okay, now, hang on one second.
Yes.
I should have mentioned this. I usually do is I break in occasionally and will ask questions. You said there is currently a protection order that prohibits her husband from having contact with you and your children. Is that correct?
Yes, and it's on file with my school. And
Now, hang on one second. What's his name?
Alan Wayne Thomas.
And is that order out of Superior Court?
Yes.
And is that part and parcel of the criminal charge?
Yes, it is. And we
Okay.
have a prosecuting attorney, Nicole, who is defending my children in this case. And she told me she couldn't help me with this case. We also have an advocate, Sheila, from the Hope Project. But what they did say is a few weeks ago, his attorney's office did request the tapes from the CJAC interviews, and they did ask for a plea bargain. So I feel like she's just finding ways to retaliate. She's angry and she's hurt. And I wish my sister would come around and see what this has done to my children and my whole family. And I wish she would love us enough to not be with this monster.
Okay, thank you. Now, you said you wanted to have your daughter testify. Do you still want to do that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, Ms. Hernandez, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear under penalty of perjury under laws of Washington State that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Go ahead, state your full name for the record and spell your last name, please.
Savannah Hernandez, Hernandez.
Okay, go ahead with your testimony.
We went into 7th Avenue Walmart on that Saturday, and we were simply shopping throughout the store. We were in there for quite a while before we went up to the front check stand, checking out at check stand 8. And my mom says to me, "Oh my God." And I look over and it's my aunt standing there. And I stand there just in a stare, can't believe it's her. And she stares up at me and then quickly looks away, goes back, is texting someone from what it seemed to be. Her son shows up at the front, is very close to our car, extremely uncomfortably close. So in that situation, I could not hold my tongue. And when we went to leave after all of the events my mom's already stated, I said, "I hope you sleep well at night." I did not curse at her. I just simply wanted her to sleep so well for everything she's done.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, let me get back here. Ms. Thomas, as I said, you bear the burden of proof of to me in order to obtain a permanent order. And so you have the right to speak last, and you're still under oath. You don't have to, but you do have this time right now to make any further statements if you'd like to.
Well, as far as my son working there, yes, my son does work there. He did not even know that they were in the store. He did not see them. He does the grocery online, and he was coming up to my register to get the key to the liquor cabinet to put the liquor back into the cabinet. So I don't know where they got any of that. As far as I was on the phone, I may have been looking up an item for a customer. When I came around to the side of my counter, I was scanning items in that person's basket. And as they were leaving, it was not Savannah that said that. It was Cameron that said that. So there was some discrepancy on how it all went down. As far as the door person, she is not my friend. She is a coworker, and she came to me and told me what they had said. If she hadn't came to me, I would have never known that they said anything at that door.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. As I said at the beginning, the issue for me under RCW 7105 is whether the petitioner proves by a preponderance of the evidence, that's 50%, a little bit more than 50%, that she does qualify for the protection order that is requested. Under the definition, what we're dealing with is a requirement that the petitioner prove a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to the person, serves no legitimate lawful purpose, and the course of conduct must be such as would cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress, and they actually do suffer emotional distress. Actually, the facts here are not all that much in dispute. Ms. Castellon has admitted the statements that she made to the door person, which is actually a little bit more detailed than the statement that the door person gave. And the issue for me is, was this a knowing and willful course of conduct? It's a single incident. It could qualify as a course of conduct. Was it directed at a specific person? It was directed at the door person. I don't think it was directed at the petitioner. And did it seriously alarm, annoy her, or harass, or detrimental? I think the petitioner has met the burden of proof as far as that is concerned. Did it serve a legitimate or lawful purpose? Probably not. I think petitioner has met that. Here's where my problem happens, is that would this cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress? Certainly it caused emotional distress. That's why Ms. Thomas is here. But I don't find by a preponderance of the evidence that it causes substantial emotional distress or would cause a reasonable person to have substantial emotional distress. It's actually close in my mind, but I don't think petitioner has quite made legal requirements for a permanent order. So I'm going to deny the permanent order. The temporary order is vacated as of this hearing date. But if we had any conduct in the future, then probably the response, if I have a new petition, is going to be the granting of a permanent one. So that will be the order of the court. Temporary order is hereby vacated, and the full order is denied. You do have a right to appeal this determination or to file a new petition if you want to, Ms. Thomas. But that will be the order of the court. There's a denial order will be at the clerk's office this afternoon. Either party can pick them up. Okay, thank you very much. That will be it.
Thank you.